show your new look, and Cash said no, they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Are you ready? How ready are they?
Well, I think what happens every team right now, you get to a point where you want to play against another team. And right now I'm at a point where I got to be careful beating them up. You know, it's like I talked to our trainer, Bob Mangine. You know, you got this guy's, we have no major injuries. David's been out for 3 days with a sore knee, but, you know, a lot of sore groin, you know, thigh bruises, all that type of stuff. You get to a point where you got to be careful as a coach, because it's in training camp mode. You're trying to get everything in. You're trying to make sure guys are practicing hard, going hard, and you need to get to a point where you find a happy medium with that. But you got to play somebody else. So, you know, I'm sure the guys would be looking forward to Monday night. But at the same time, you know, I like that Cash said that too, because you know, I keep trying to, with this team, I want to make sure that we don't get ahead of ourselves. You know, we don't start, we don't think that we're good. We don't think that we should be ranked higher than whatever we're ranked. And all that stuff doesn't matter. You know, the mature approach is to just focus on getting better every day. So if that's where his mind's at, then it's working a little bit.
You already talked a little bit about Monday night. You want to use a lot of guys. You just want guys to get experience, get some playing time. Right?
That's how we're going to play. So that, and it, you know, that's what they call it, an exhibition for a reason. Try to practice how you know how you want to play, and you know, we got guys that are more ready to play off our bench than maybe they were last year. So I would expect those guys are going to play a lot more than they did at the end of last season, when our bench got too short. It was really, I thought, probably our demise in the Big East Championship game and in the Ohio State game in the Sweet 16. So outside of David, depending, you know, we'll see how he's day to day with a sore knee. So we'll see.
So there's a chance he might not play.
Don't know. Yeah. Don't know. You know, hopefully, you know, right now, it's like, you know, my message, I try to approach everything conservatively. It's a long year. You sit here right now and think that it's October, and you know, our goal is to be sitting here having a conversation in a press conference in March on the same date, whatever today is, 24th or 5th. And so with that in mind, you know, you got to realize as the coach, although you want to practice hard and get everything in, we practice hard, but at times I cut it off. I mean, to the point now where, because this team here, this season, I have to back them down. They play really hard. I don't have to worry about effort with this team and hustle and competitiveness, because for a lot of reasons. It's their DNA, it's who they are, the leaders of our team, and as well as there's competition for playing time. So that's a nice thing to have. It's a luxury to have as a coach.
Do you go to the exhibition games looking for how your players perform in certain areas, like are we a good rebounding team, how do we shoot the ball?
Well, for us, I mean, we have, you know, there's certain areas that are important to us. Our main thing is defense. Don't turn the ball over, and know what you're supposed to do on every play. Make sure you're in the right spot. Those are our three things. That's our criteria for playing time. So, that being said, there's all details of the way we play defense. For instance, this year a big part of what we do is trying to get 40 deflections every game and wear our opponent out. But you're not going to wear the opponent out unless you're putting pressure on them. Not necessarily trapping every possession, but just trying the cumulative effect of having somebody that's athletic in your face wearing you down. That's new for this team. We had a deep team 2 years ago, but Ibrahim Thomas and Yancey Gates weren't guys that could play pressure defense. This team is built to be able to play pressure defense no matter what lineup's on the floor. Because like 2 years ago, we could only press with Darnell Wilkes in the game. But maybe our best lineup was with Ibrahim Thomas in the game. So we don't have that. Whatever our four guards and our bigger guards, whether it's Justin, Titus, Shaq Thomas, Jermaine Sanders, those guys can all do it. So we won't have to alter our pressure. It's going to be 40 minutes of trying to wear you out with the type of defense we're bringing to the table. So That's my biggest thing in the first night, because that's a new thing for us, of trying to constantly wear our opponent down on it and force them into making fatigue mistakes.
So you're at least 10 deep, then deeper than that, right?
Well, you know, we got 12 on scholarship. Hopefully they can all play. But I'd like to, for us to be who we want to be, we need to be 10 deep. For us to be the best team in the Big East, we're going to have to do it with 10 guys. We're not going to do it with 5 guys. You know, I think we can have the best backcourt in the Big East. But to have the best team in the Big East, you know, our guys understand we have a plan of how we're going to do that. And it's with tremendous defensive pressure, of wearing you down. And it's on the offensive end of having multiple guys that can score and break their man down off the dribble. And playing very smart, no dumb fouls, and all the things that we've learned about that we emphasize. But yeah, depth is a big key for us. So, you know, that's why I tell you, the press conferences or whatever, you know, like a guy like G-Line, again, how important he is to us this year. To be able to give Cashmere, when Cashmere Wright rests, that G-Line again is able to play well, that there's no drop-off for us.
Has he shown that?
We'll see. Yeah, but he's done great in practice. But, you know, we'll see. But he's not, you know, that's why I say, like Monday, he needs minutes to be able to prove that. And as a player, you need to be able to get consistent minutes to get a comfort level. It's very hard as a player to start to play effectively unless you get consistent minutes to develop some comfort level out on the floor.
Last year with Yancey, you could get some points out of that position. What are you looking for from that position this year?
Well, you know how many he averaged?
And it's not that many, but he was a threat.
But, you know, it's 11 or 12 points. So if you can get 11 or 12 points and 9 rebounds, I think we can get more block shots. The thing that Yancey didn't get credit for was his effectiveness on the defensive end with his positioning. He really got good in his senior year at how to defend without maybe being fancy, maybe not blocking a shot, but what we would call position defense, of reading the scouting report. He understood how to take away what you wanted to do and make guys take tough shots and do it without fouling, without even leaving his feet, just outsmarting the guy that's playing, you know, some young guy playing fast, spinning, and he's beating the guy to the spot, making the guy take an off-balance shot. He became really effective at that. Shek Mudge is a much better shot blocker, but he doesn't have Yancey's experience and keen sense of how to play post defense. So that's where I've been coaching him really hard on calling fouls on him, making sure he understands how to do what he does without fouling. Yancey got really good at that.
With this pace and the way you're going to play, would it be realistic for a guy, even like a Cash or SK, to average 33 to 35 minutes a game? Is that too much?
I would be shocked if someone played that many minutes.
Yeah. Even over 30? I mean, just because you want to be...
You understand, like, I don't think about things like that.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with things that affect us winning. If you look at the top 4 seeds in the Big East last year in the Big East tournament, turnover margin, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the things I concern myself with. Minutes played will take care of itself. And our guys know you're probably going to get what you deserve. You know, and I beg them, make it hard on me. Everybody get as good as you can, make it hard on me. So then I can sub on strategy. You know, instead of subbing on mistakes, I'm going to sub on strategy.
When people think of playing fast offensively, they tend to think of it as the detriment of defense and rebounding, but that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly with you, obviously.
No, you force the pace of the game with your defense. When you start talking about scoring more points on offense, passing is the key. You're going to get to, like, passing the ball ahead is something we spent all summer working on. You know, great Jason Kidd's Jason Kidd because he throws the ball ahead. He doesn't dribble it ahead. That's why he's been the greatest point guard on the break since Magic Johnson, who was another great guy throwing the ball ahead. We've spent a lot of time on that, but you're going to force pace of a game with your defense because teams can control the pace with deliberate offense. So, and start talking about getting the ball in the basket, passing is the key. Because if you have good passing, you're going to get good shots. And that's an area where we got to continue to improve. We got better with our turnovers, and that's been a big key for us, is keeping our turnovers down. This year, with more of a motion offense with our four out setting, is a lot of responsibility. Like right now, you know, it's been a struggle early. If you'd have watched it early 10 days ago, you'd just think, oh my goodness, these guys are throwing the ball everywhere. Guys are running over people. Coach looks like he's having a brain aneurysm. But now it's just much harder. It's easier to just put in set plays. It's a lot harder to teach guys how to play and read off each other. So it's just something we got to stick with. Ultimately, it's going to be best for us and make us harder to defend. At the same time, we got to make sure we understand who our best shooters are. Get in, make sure we're getting them shots.
Were there other teams that played this type of style, maybe even last year, that people could associate with, or that you kind of drew off of? Or?
No, I mean, it's really the way we did what we had to do here for 4 years to survive. Last year, similar to we had more time to practice it. So from last year to this year, and we're a lot faster. Shekmuj is 235. His conditioning's off the charts. He was 260 when the season ended last year with a horrible ankle. And David, 7'1", he's not quick, but he can run. Kelvin's in there, he can really run. Justin's as fast as anybody in his position in the country, same as Titus. So, and SK's lost weight, Jermaine's lost weight. We've collectively lost 40% of our body fat as a team. Not the coaching staff, just the team.
What do Titus and Shaq add to what you have already?
Well, this year and for our future, because one's a freshman, one's a junior. Whenever you can get guys who play 2-3 positions, 6'7", 6'7.5", that can play offense but have tremendous length and athleticism, you can turn those guys into defenders that the normal college player doesn't see, that a guard doesn't see, a guy that can defend him on the perimeter with that type of length. The other thing is when you pressure and you're scrambling around, it's important to have guys that can recover to the ball quickly. It'd be like watching Alabama's defense. They get beat too, but the guys, they recover so quick in football, I'm talking about, because they have such superior athleticism. When you can get 6'7", 6'8" guys that can recover quickly, block shots, they erase a lot of mistakes. Where the normal guy, it'd be taking 2-3 steps to get there, they can get there in 1.5. Then on offense, those guys can play. It's just a matter of learning how to do it Shaq Thomas got to do it with less dribbles, and Titus Rubel's got to do it off 2 feet, and not charge. But both those guys, I don't have to draw the ball in the basket. They're the type of guys that are hanging in the air, reaching around the guy and laying it in while they're in the air. They have that type of ability on offense. So they bring a lot to the table for us. Getting them fundamentally sound is a big key for us, because they're the type of players that they don't grow on trees. They're not on everybody's roster, because they can make your team bigger as perimeter players in a hurry. You start talking about them guys playing the 2 and the 3 at times.
Is there any preseason poll or ranking that you do care about or you do look at?
The only time that stuff only matters for fans, ticket sales, so that's why it can be irritating at times. But I think our fans, they're excited. If I got a gauge for how things are, and they should be, about our season. I mean, if you're not busy next Monday, you come out and you're going to have fun watching us play and recruiting. As far as winning and building your team, it's pointless, and it can be a detriment because kids start thinking that they're a really good team because somebody said they were. It doesn't matter. All it really does is put a bullseye on your back. It's a setup for your team. So from a coaching standpoint, you're better off being underrated than you are overrated, because it gives your team the mental edge. But from a recruiting standpoint, the more you're on TV and people talk about you. So it's a double-edged sword.
Have time for one more question?
About Titus.
Need a sound
Go
bite?
ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good. We got several.
About Titus, is his passing something that really sets him apart? Being able to play multiple spots?
Yeah, the thing about Titus, I would compare Titus athletically to Ruben Patterson, except he's not the rebounder that Ruben was. Offensively, he's a better player. But he's got that kind of explosiveness because he can really pass the ball. He's just got to learn to do it off 2 feet, because he can explode. When you got a guy that can explode by his man at the pace that Titus can do it, and he can kind of do it whenever he wants, he's got to learn how to not run over the guy that's going to draw the charge on him. So that's going to be a big thing for him, is how to use his quickness, how to use his speed and do it under control. And hopefully the game slows down for him. He's a guy that's going to be a much better player January 1st than he is November 1st. The same hope probably with Shaq Thomas and David Narsick, but those guys got great ability, and the good thing is they got veterans around them. As much as I like our team, because of those guys, the newer guys, I think that we'll be a much better team in January if we continue to just stay focused. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.